welcome everyone. We're so excited that Rye is here. Yay, Rye McKeand. All right, so we are going to do this. If you guys were here for Howard, it's going to be basically the same where we have our main interview time where we chat with Rye and we'll have, you guys, of course, drop what you want to, shout and scream about in chat. And then we'll move into our brain rot headcanon Q&A portion. It'll be great. It'll be great.
10 out of 10.
Alrighty. Yes, it'll be so much fun. So, Rye, first off, what inspired you to become a voice actor?
Ooh, that's like a loaded question, dude. So like I always say, I am an example of a fan turned professional. So I grew up playing video games, watching anime, cartoons, all that stuff, and I was the kind of kid who would go on like those Wikipedia like rabbit holes, go down them, and that was me with voice actors. So I'd go on Wikipedia, I'd look up a game that I had played or liked, and then I'd look at who played the characters. And so I'd like be like play a game like as an example, like Tales of the Abyss. And for anyone who's played it, you know that the stack cast in that game is insane. And I'd like click on Yuri Lowenthal and be like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, what? He voices Sasuke? Yo, that's so cool, man. Wow. There are people that do multiple voices. And like, back in those days, there were only so many people that were like professional and were being used. So it was like, you had Johnny on Bosch in like 50 projects in the same year. You had Yuri Lowenthal in like 75 one year. So I'd be like, oh, you were in this, and that? Whoa. And I did that for years growing up until I was like in high school. And then oddly enough, I discovered the realm of online voice acting thanks to Alejandro Saab, funnily enough, when he was doing stuff online as well when he was in high school going into college. And I was like, wait, people do this online? I want to do this online. And so I just had my dad for Christmas buy me a USB microphone and a mic stand, and I put up in a corner of my room and just kind of went to town auditioning for a lot of fan stuff. And I guess the main reason why I kind of wanted to become an actor outside of the fact that I thought it was cool was that I didn't have the best childhood growing up. Like it was pretty rough. I had a divorced parents, and I'll spare details, obviously. But I also felt like I was like an outcast. Like I was a nerdy kid who got bullied when I was in school. And so I wanted to do something similar, even if these actors, of I call them the old guard. Even if the old guard don't know this, I want to do what they did for me, which was sort of to have a positive impact or influence on somebody doing something you enjoy. Um, so I kind of want to do the same, but for other people. So like if I like, I'm able to touch somebody's heart or help them through a rough time, even if I don't know it with my performance, or just in general doing something that I love, then I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. So that's why I like, I like to do it. That's why I started becoming an actor. But now I just want to be in stuff that I think is really cool. Like I just want to be in JRPGs, which is why I moved to to Los Angeles because that's where they all are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool that you were able to use your experience growing up and hope that you can provide that same positive experience. Have you had people like come to you at cons to tell you that like, oh, such and such character like did this for me kind of a thing?
Is kind of. I know like Sk8's my big thing, and I've been around for a while. God, like I've been acting like professionally for like 6 years now. I want to say. So there's been a couple of people. I think primarily when I first started going to cons about 2 years ago was the first con I ever guested at was Sac Anime Spring, and that's where I met a lot of people for the first time. It was like my first time just being in that environment as the guest, as opposed to helping somebody out. And there were people that said that I was such an inspiration. I was just like, oh, my heart. Oh man, this shouldn't be happening at my first convention. Oh my god. Uh, but uh, but yeah, I've just been grateful for whenever anybody really does tell me that. So a couple of people have, and I won't out anybody in particular, but
Hmm.
there's a there's been a few that have done that, and I'm just like, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that always feels so good. That's so fun and so wonderful. So, do you remember, your like first audition compared to something you've done recently? Like, what's kind of like, the comparison?
Night and day.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually unironically did find, like, one of my first auditions I ever did in Google Drive. Uh, and I was oh my god. It was so bad. So bad. I, like, literally cringed. I'd be like, "Oh, no! God, I was so bad at, like, 16 because 'cause I've been acting, like, online I started acting online, like, 10 years ago when I was, like, 16, right?
Mhm.
And, it was so bad, dude. Like, I was so quiet at being loud, and, I can, like, do a recreation of it, and I'm just gonna cringe doing it, where I was like, hello, what's going on? My name is, Rye McKeand, and I'm gonna be reading for the role of, an X and Y guy. Yeah. And, yeah, here I go. "Oh, watch out. That's not what you're supposed to do." Like, whisper acting, and I was like, oh, like, just no, no. And compared to what I do nowadays, I'm like, it is like obviously I was a kid who didn't really do a lot of theater as I really should have done to set myself up for
Mhm.
success in this career. I was primarily self-taught. I took workshops and I was a speech and debate kid, right? So
Okay.
I took my speech and debate experience, which was pretty much just learning how to care about what you're talking about and act like you do, and then I put that into voice acting. And then when I went to college, while I was there, I was in theater and improv for the full like year and a half that I attended my college, and then just more experience acting, taking more workshops, working with professionals, stuff like that. So I've gotten a lot better. I want to say, even listening back to some of like my early stuff that I did when I first moved to Texas, like the very first show I ever booked like off of an audition was this little OVA called This Boy Suffers from Crystallization, which is insane to think that it's coming up on 6 years since I booked that. Uh, that was something that Marissa Lenti dubbed, and Damon Mills played opposite of me, good old Cherry. So Damon and I have been in stuff for a long time. We've known each other for a long time now. Um, and I still think that what I did in there is good. But I'm just like, you know, I was super nervous. It was my first thing. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I was, so
Uh-oh.
I'll listen back
There
to
we
it, and I'm just like, you know.
go.
But
Yeah.
it's still good for all intents and purposes. But as you get older too, like your voice still matures and still deepens. Because I keep saying this, but I was 20 when I moved to Texas on my own, $1,000 in my pocket. Don't ever do that. Have more money saved up, kids. Um, don't be irresponsible. It worked out for me. Doesn't mean it'll work out for you. Um,
Mhm.
and I just my voice has changed, but more so in the sense of like, my high range is still there and my high range is still there, but like, I just, bleh, just yeah, it's just bleh. I'm just
Yeah.
rambling at that point. But
Yeah.
compared to something like I was doing earlier today, I'm like night and day, night and day. Like there was
Mhm.
something I worked on where I submitted the audition for the character for one of the characters because they told us to read for like a max of 3 out of like a bigger list, and I was like, okay. I read for one character and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna book this. Like, I think I'm happy with what I did, but I don't know. I had more faith in another character, and I was like, yeah, this seems like more up my alley, even if I'm struggling a little bit with like getting a solid readout. Um, and then the one I had the least faith in is what I ended up booking. I was like, oh shit. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. So
Hey.
sometimes you never know. And I listened back to that audition before I went in and recorded it because they played it for me, and I just wanted to refresh my mind too. I was like, oh, I mean, I think I was gonna get it, but cool. And that turned out to be a super self gratifying project to work on, which I still can't talk about it, but whenever I
Mhm.
can, I'm gonna be freaking the hell out about it because it's such a cool thing for me. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. And I feel like a lot of us when we look back at something we first start, we're like, "Ooh, ah, oh," because it's your first time, like I remember my first interview with someone. I watch it back and I was like, I at the time I felt more awkward than I think I looked on camera, but at the same time you're kind of like, "Ooh, that could have gone better." And then I rewatch things now. I'm like, "Oh, I look way more relaxed." Like it's way better because you have experience.
Yeah, I mean, if you look hard enough, you can find videos of me when I used to also go by Ryan, which weird to a lot of people who just know me as Rye. Of me doing like one or two interviews with some professionals. I think though the one that I did that is up on YouTube still, I think it was with Keith Silverstein when I was like a junior in high school. I did it with my friend John at the time because he did like a bunch of acting interviews with actors, and yeah, you can find it. I'm not gonna link it or tell you where to find it, but you could find it. It's not attached to my name, so you will not find me. You will not find me specifically. Look up like Ryan McKeand interviews like Keith Silverstein or anything like that. You have to search. You have to search. Uh, but yeah, no, I also relate. And also, yes, that is my cat there. She is sleeping on my bed. She's sleeping by my pajamas, which is I have just thrown on the bed. So
We
The
love it.
chat's totally blowing up with like, we need to know the name of the angel sleeping in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's in the Q&A.
yes,
Yeah.
that's my cat Nia. I don't shut up about her because she gives me so much grief, but I love her. But that's my cat. I've had her for almost 4 years now.
Aw.
I mean, I feel like that's cat life too.
Yes.
The nature of it.
So sweet. And that is so in character for Mia to have a cat on camera, I feel like. And and so it's that's like a great segue to pivot into talking about Skate.
Oh yeah, we should probably do that.
Yeah. No, it's so fun to like get to know like your like journey into voice acting and stuff. Like that's one of my favorite things to ask you guys is to like see how, how you came to be, so to speak,
Mhm.
He was an
Yeah.
individual, like outside of
Yeah.
Skate even.
Right, yeah.
What? Ryan McKeand isn't just Mia Cheenan in Skate the Infinity
What?
Anime of the year 2021.
What?
Speaking of that, side note, it's
Has-
hard to imagine that was 3 years ago now. Like,
right?
I was
Yeah, we're
I was
coming up on the
23
actual
when I recorded that anime. That is so weird to think about. So,
Yeah. It's insane. Like we were talking about how Jovi and I started this Discord like years ago, when Skate was out, right? And then I've been cosplaying Reki since, 2021 and it's like holy moly, like it's been such a long
a
time,
minute.
but like
It's been a
yeah.
freaking minute, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's
Good
still so loved by this fandom, like it's just after like 12 episodes in one season and yeah, we have the announcements and stuff, but like the fandom's popping, and
Mhm.
it's really cool. And so what was your reaction when you were cast as Mia?
So, the thing was, when I first got cast in Skate, I wasn't told I was Mia at all. So, how Funimation, now Crunchyroll, would do things is whenever you were getting booked on something, you would either get an email or a text message from, the talent coordinator, Tara's her name, and you would just be told, "Hey, this director wants you in for X amount of time on this show." And so, my first session for Skate, uh, which I hadn't even watched. I tried watching the first episode, but I just got distracted and I stopped. I was told that I was needed for 30 minutes for episode 2, and I was like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna be a character, but hadn't seen episode 2. I was interested in the show, hadn't fully watched episode 1, and so after I was like, yeah, I can do this time on this day. Um, I went, I skimmed through episode 2 because at the time, since Mia doesn't speak until episode 2, uh, Mia's gender identity was a mystery to me. I assumed Mia was a boy. But if you look at the key art for the like the poster for the show, Mia's just up there looking all smug. I'm like, that could be a girl. That could in fact be a girl. And I was just like, I don't know who that little boy is, but I want to voice him if I can because Mia was also not on the audition sides. So I read for Reki and I think Longa is who I read for.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
For yeah, because when they sent out auditions for the show, like a few weeks before they started casting it, well, not before we start dubbing it, I should say. And I hadn't heard anything. It's like it'd be cool to be him, but yeah, I that's just who I would want to be. And so when I pop into the session a little bit before since this was still remote for the because I record the show entirely remote, they sent me stuff like, hey, here's the links to like your scripts, here's the Zoom link for your meeting, here's the source connect information. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be doing a PV and then also episode 2. And I was like, wait, PV? That's promotional video, isn't it? Huh? And then Kyle Phelps directed me for that session really quickly, since Kyle was like, the main director for the show.
Mhm.
And then I go in and he makes this joke, and I tell everybody this joke all the time. He's like, "Yep, you're gonna be playing Mia. I'm not too sure if Mia's a boy or girl, so if it's girl, sorry, Rye. You know, no hard feelings, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, totally." Totally. Because when I skimmed through episode 2, I was like, I'm probably just doing some bits that they just need me to grab. Bits are just like all the no-name characters. So I was like, yeah, it might be some students, and they just booked me for 30 minutes because it's, just in case there's tech issues or whatever. And I'm skimming through, and on the back of my mind, I'm like, I could have been, maybe I don't think you'd need 30 minutes, though. Maybe like need 15, because Funimation would just book you for like 15, 30 minutes, depending on how long they need you, and just pay you for the hour. And then we start with the PV, and I say literally one line in that entire PV, which never shows up in the show at all. That's just how PVs work, because I'm pretty sure they didn't know what the hell the show was going to be at the time. And then we recorded episode 2, and I was like, I'm in the skateboarding anime, let's go. And at the time,
Woo!
zero clue how insane this show was going to be and how quickly I was going to fall in love with it. So yeah, when I recorded it, I was like, cool. And the coolness didn't really start to settle in until like I recorded episode 3, which was Mia's big episode, right? Because what I had done is that after I recorded episode 2, I was like, okay, I should probably watch this show. And I watched episode 4, not knowing anything that happens up to then, right? I went back and watched episode 2 because I wanted context. And I watched part of episode 1. And then I watched episode 4, and I was like, I watched it subbed because we hadn't dubbed it yet. And I was like, shit, I'm really liking this. And then I recorded episode 3 cold, and I was just like, this is great. And then Chris Wakamp directed me for that session, who was the other director on the show. And if you ever ask him, he probably won't remember this, but I literally in session, when I saw Longa like shift the bridge the gap on the broken rail with his skateboard, I was like, holy shit, that's so cool. What the fuck? Literally screamed that. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this show's awesome, dude. That show is awesome as hell. And then I just didn't. The whole cast started getting in on it. We had our group chats going. We were like, dude, it's so good. I remember when episode 6 dropped sub, Jonah texted me, he's like, dude, have you seen episode 6? And I told him no. He's like, you have to call me daddy. And I'm like, hey, yo, what? And I immediately went to go watch it. And it was the funniest shit. And that's still one of my favorite episodes of anime we've ever dubbed to this day.
Oh my
But yeah,
God, that's so
it didn't hit until I recorded episode 3 of Sk8 for how cool it was to book Mia. I was just like, oh, cool, I get to be in the skateboarding anime. If it's bad, okay, but I can still say I was in the skateboarding anime, and then lo and behold, turned out to be really cool.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
what did it feel like to record that daddy line though? Like,
Dude. Since everybody in the main cast was watching the show as it was happening, we were getting so hyped for this show to record stuff. I think we only did one take because I think it just fit and Kyle liked it. But I was so excited. I was just like, Kyle was like, "Yep, you're gonna do this," and I was like, "Oh, trust me, Kyle. I've seen the episode. I know what to do. I know what's gonna happen."
As a vision.
And so I think I was kind of irresponsible a little bit when I was recording Sk8 because it was from home. Sometimes I would wake up like 30 minutes before my session, which for me, his voice is not conducive since he lives in my higher register. which you can tell in some episodes, mostly in the latter half. But part of me wishes I could go back to re-record it just so I could like kind of get like a more cutesy voice in there, like an even cutesier voice. But I still think it's really, really good and really, really funny. But I was so excited. I think I'd wish to have taken a second take just so that we could have ironed it out a little more. But it was already great. So it was just sort of like oh, it's funny. It's going in there. And I was like, I'll take it.
That's amazing.
I think
That's
probably from episode 6, my other favorite highlight is just like the "Where are your clothes, bro?" Like, that turned out so good, and I wasn't expecting that. Just, like, I felt
Your
the
favorite.
energy of Mia's face there, and I was just like,
yeah.
"Where are your clothes, bro?" It just
It's,
hit, and I was like, "It worked." It just worked.
yeah.
Perfection.
It's so great. The whole it's so I think unhinged is probably the best word. Like that beach episode, it just brings everyone so much joy. It's one of those where like you're having a bad day, put on the skate episode, like put on this beach episode of Skate
Yeah.
because you
Maddie,
can't not
preach.
be.
I'm
Absolutely.
sorry.
And
That is such a vibe. It's like,
Really
man, today was awful. You put on the Skate episode, you drink a glass of wine, all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Everything's okay. I'm gonna have a good day tomorrow. We're
fine.
gonna go.
yeah,
gonna be
for
fine.
sure.
It's the senoritas, Jonah's senoritas, like lives rent free in my mind as like the women are walking away. Like it's
It's too good. It's too
It's-
good. Yeah.
it is. It does. Skate always does help the bad days. Yes, 100%. You know,
Mhm.
and so like we were talking about earlier, like this show has received so much love and so much attention and excitement. Like, how do you feel being part of it?
I mean, I'm just a little guy, you know. So I'm I'm eternally grateful that I got to be a part of Skate. Like I said, that show was nobody was expecting that show to pop the hell off like it did, like let alone to be as phenomenal as it was, even just for one season, to have an amazing storyline, have an amazing fandom, which I will still preach to this day. The Skate fandom is probably one of the best fandoms I've ever seen in the anime sphere. Like everybody's super supportive. The only thing that I had an issue with was just like everybody saying "fuck the palm trees," which I get why, but also I was like, what did they do? They're just stupid palm trees in the ending. I know they're
Yeah.
symbolic.
Palm
But calm down. That was probably the only thing that like I was like, calm down. Calm down. It's still a good ending. Calm down.
Mhm.
But
Chat
yeah,
with the
no.
palm trees.
I know. I see you
Literally
guys. I see you
palm
guys.
trees.
It's a dead meme, but people still talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show was just lightning in a bottle, right? And
Mhm.
that's the show that really kind of put me on the map to like do appearances and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Which like again could not be more grateful. And to at least for me, who's primarily known just for Skate, I want to say, for it to have been Skate, I'm glad it was that, because there could have been people. There's plenty of actors who are known for like just one show, and it might be a show that they're not super. They might not personally have been a super fan of, but everybody loves them in. I'm a fan of Skate.
Mhm.
I'm glad that people found me because of Skate and have stuck around because they like my stuff. So, man, all these palm trees memes, damn. Are you guys okay? Are y'all okay?
No. We're
Do you
still
need
trying
therapy?
to recover from the palm tree.
It was one of the first emotes that we put in this Discord was the burning palm tree.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Understood. But yeah, so I'm happy to be a part of the skate boys, the skater boys.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we love it so much. And you know, the skate fandom is really great. Like as someone who according to Chase, I'm part of skate lore, which I think is really kind of hilarious. But like I
Yeah.
I adore this fandom so much. Like it has never like failed to like make me happy. Like there, being in other fandoms where there's a lot of like discourse and like I won't like drop anime titles, but like you guys know that sometimes like the internet can be a really mean place, right? Like it's not great all the time, but I feel like with Skate it's like good vibes and fun more often than not than other places.
Yeah, no, I agree to that. Like, like I said, my only gripe with the fandom was just the palm trees bit. And even then, it was just because at the time everybody was going batshit crazy over the fact that, like,
Right.
fuck the palm trees. Those palm trees could go burn. I'm like, what
Whoa.
they do. But yeah, no, there's never really been any sort of like alienating within the skate fandom. Everyone's just like, you should watch it. It's really good. It's about like gay skater boys who are totally gay or at least bi. We don't know. Because it's an anime and it's not a BL. So
Well, according to Crunchyroll, if you every once in a while, like in the categories, like I have a whole video on TikTok too. It's like what crazy viral, but it was like because you watched Skate and it like gave me Sasaki and Miyano, Stranger by the Shore, and a couple other like clearly BL anime, and I was like, see, Crunchyroll knows what's up. Like it's
exactly. No, I remember that. I remember that. It's just like,
yeah.
it's great. 10 out of 10. Crunchyroll knows what knows what's up.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun. And so was Mia like your first original character that he had like no source material?
Yes. I mean, technically, Tamari from this boy suffers from crystallization, the first little anime I ever did, that OVA, he technically is, but considering it's just a one episode OVA and very small creator, I'll like sort of circumvent that from just be like, that's a one off.
Mhm.
But yeah, Skate's been like one of the only like anime original animes that I've ever been in. There's only been like two, I think, that I've been in. Don't quote me on that. I'm bad about remembering what I've done. But Mia was like the first character, whereas there was no source material at all that I had to reference. It was just cool. I'm doing this, and
Mhm.
we're here for it. And then it was like a year later, I want to say. It was later that year, like end of that year, going into 2022, that I started working on another show called Ame Warrior at the Borderline, which was totally anime original. It was made by Sunrise, which is the studio that makes like Gundam and like Code Geass and stuff like that. It was made by one of their sister studios. And I played the main character Amo Shiba in that, which is a whole other thing for me to rant about for how much I loved working on that show. But that he was my only other character where literally he was just I had to figure him out as we went because there was nothing for me to reference.
Mhm.
So, but Mia technically was the first one where it was like, cool. If I ever wanted to go and like read the source material, I got nothing. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And we get a little bit of background with Mia. Like we kind of see his parents a little bit. Like we get like, a glimpse of what his school life was kind of like. Did you ever come up with like your own little like headcanons or something that helped bring him to life?
so I don't really think so. I'm kind of somebody who, as an actor, I kind of just let my instincts guide me, and then
Mhm.
if I'm on point, then the director will mention that. If not, then so be it. But I was able to really relate to Mia a lot, just because he ended up being kind of an outcast, just because he was good at something, and people sort of unjustly so, literally were like, "Hey, you're too good for us, so fuck off." With his old best friend, uh,
Mhm.
which was just like, oof, that hurts. But for me, the biggest thing that I think I really appreciated the most as we were recording the show and as it was coming out was seeing his character development in the background. Uh, just going from being somebody who's like such a loner, who's like, I'm just so good that I need to just maintain my status as I need to be how people perceive me to be, as like this talented prodigy that is just you know publicly super 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 sweet and wholesome because I'm 13, uh but is cocky as shit, and like I have to become what people think I am in order for me to get through, right? And his whole character development is that he opens up. He finds it's okay to have friends, to be vulnerable again. He sees that, as much as he likes to act like so, like, soon about it with his affection towards like Reki and, Longa. And I want to say particularly Reki, uh, he cares. He does, and it's sort of
Mhm.
him coming to realize, like, "Hey, I can be open and be more myself and show off all these emotions to, the fam," right?
Mhm.
And, he gets his little small bit of resolution towards the end where, he and his friend kind of have, like, a one-off conversation. We don't know what it is. Will we ever know? Who knows? But, uh but then him being a lot happier, I'm like, "Oh, there's probably gonna be something there." It's like, my boy. I just want him to grow
Yeah.
up too. But yeah, I really appreciated his little journey in the background, and I think that's what helped me out a lot with playing him was seeing how much more comfortable he got around, the boys.
Mhm.
So, mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. His character development is so sweet. And, we love that, like, I feel like his relationship, even like with food, kind of changed. Like, he went from protein and you need to be a healthy diet. And then at the very end, we see him with like happy eating the food that Joe
Yeah,
made, right?
yeah. I mean, like the thing is too, he's just a kid. Like he's
Yeah,
critical in some
baby.
points because he's barely a teenager. He's like
Yeah,
kid's 13. Like, buddy,
yeah.
calm down.
He's just a baby.
Mhm. I think the other
I-
reason why I loved playing Mia so much was primarily because, like, I could get really, like, voice cracky, and it was in character, like,
Mhm.
because it's just he's 13, puberty, man, like,
Yeah,
Puberty,
yeah.
man.
so,
It's right.
it's just fun, it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And, also too, like, one thing I feel like the fandom agrees on is that Mia is a video game connoisseur. Like, he definitely knows what's up when it comes to video games. Do you think that he's like the latest and greatest kind of a gamer, or does he stick to like the franchises he knows and loves?
Uh, I think technically neither. I think Mia plays what he likes. And he would be sort of like more of a connoisseur to phrase it.
Mhm.
Where and this is me headcanon because Mia is literally the reason why he calls Reki a slime is because he plays JRPGs. He plays RPGs.
Ah,
Like he's a Dragon Quest kid. It is so obvious
mhm.
he's a Dragon Quest kid. So literally he'd probably be similar to me in the sense where it's like he can go back and play older games and appreciate them, but, like, as a 13-year-old, he's gonna prioritize, like, shit he can play on a Switch because it's just there.
Yeah.
I think Mia would probably put a priority on the modern stuff first, but would go back to, like, play older things that, like, he knows he'd probably enjoy to, like, have a good understanding of like, his thoughts and opinions on the genre, right?
Mhm.
But in general, he's just an RPG, like, nut first and foremost. Definitely, like, RPG, Zelda sort of vibes, maybe some,
Mhm.
like, roguelikes, sort of stuff like that. So, like, that's sort of the umbrella I'd throw him under for, like, his gaming tastes. But he
Mhm.
I would like to think he's also open to other things as well, but RPGs are his forte.
Yeah, absolutely. I see the chat saying Fire Emblem, Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. Yeah, he does talk about like like the final boss, a lot in the show, right?
absolutely.
And dungeons and stuff. Like, I feel like he could DM a D&D game. Like, I feel like he could totally dungeon master a D&D game with the Skate crew.
That that needs to be
That'd
an
be
audio
great.
drama. That would be a great
Oh my
audio
god.
drama for them to do. Is the D&D
Amazing.
session with the whole skate cast and like Cherry's really serious, like please just stay to the focus and like Shadow and Reki are like going off and like yeah, with
So
Joe.
what
I
Yeah,
you're
could see
telling
it.
me is I need to get a one shot where we're all gonna just be in character. Got it. Understood.
please. And
I
and
can't
we'll and
guarantee.
we'll
I can't guarantee that'll happen because
we'll host
primarily,
it.
I
Yeah.
can't
We'll
guarantee that'll
host
happen.
it.
As much as I would love for something like that to happen, the one thing I will promise is that if we have at least the main 6 skate boys, right?
Mhm.
Like I will make Sendereki happen, and I will just have anybody who's not present record. But I want literally
Yes.
Howard, Matt, myself, Jonah, Damon, and Chris to be all at the same con and just get like an hour and a half to like just do Sendereki. I've been saying this for years now. And if we can't get Brandon and David to come out because David's immunocompromised, so it's hard for him to do cons, especially with COVID still being as prevalent as it is. And if Brandon's ever able to go, like, great. But if not, I would literally have them record their stuff ahead of time. So we'd get David Wald's amazing narration all throughout, and then just his amazing one-liners as freaking Adam.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody else would just be live, and it'd just be chef's kiss.
That would be so much fun. Oh my gosh.
So it needs to happen though. There's only been one instance where it almost happened, and it could have almost happened at oddly enough, an 18+ convention that happened in Dallas. I think last year.
Dallas.
Because
I went to that one.
Damon, Matt, and Chris. Damon, Matt, Chris, and I think Jonah were all at that con. And I think Howard and I were trying to go there. I was told by my con agent at the time that they were booked out for out-of-state talent because it was also a first-year con. And I was like, damn it. Fuck. It could have been the con. But
would have been so good.
There has not been a convention yet that has gotten all of us together. I think if anything, if a convention wants to have a Sk8 focus, or like once the OVAs come out, or like another season happens and like Sk8 Hive gets like, it peaks again, and that's what we're getting booked to go to cons for, I can be like, guys, you're doing this.
I will go on record as saying I have connections in the convention circuit, and I am trying. I am like putting my feelers out. I'm trying to get you guys all in one place. I'm trying.
Yep, and that's all we can ask for, because it's just, it's hard to get all of us at one place, because literally like we're the like out of the main like 8 Sk8 boys, we're literally split between LA and Dallas or Texas in general, because you have Matt, Chris, Brandon, and David all in Texas, and then you have Howard, myself, Damon, and Jonah all out here in Los Angeles. So it's hard to get everybody out, but and I say this just sort of like from a like third person perspective. I think, not to say Sk8's time in the con scene is past, but like I don't think Convention C is like Sk8 is like, oh, this is what we need to be bringing people to book for, just because it's been 3 years and we're just now getting like very small bits of information about the OVA. So
yeah,
but hopefully it happens.
We could always record it here if we need a Discord stage. Push comes to shove, y'all can vibe in here, and we do it that way. I don't know if that works, but just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's like I feel as though like that'd be fun to do, but I've been promising it at a con for years now, and I'm like,
fair.
I feel like that'd be a great opportunity to like do some stuff for people in person, and obviously it could be recorded and go up. But the issue is obviously like with performing Cindereki, doing it like a convention is one thing versus recording it, just because sometimes some people are like, you can't be doing that in character voice. I'm like, screw off. But I gotta say yes to keep my job.
Right.
But we just have to be very careful about like what gets recorded and whatnot. But I'm like, at least we can perform it live, and just if we don't feel comfortable about posting it with like with stuff, just to make sure we are okay, then so be it. But if we're allowed to post it, then it's like, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
But my priority is to do it for a live audience.
Yes. We'll try it. We'll light the candles. I see the chat calling me the patron saint of Sk8, and I think that's kind of hilarious. I need a button made.
I'll be the acolyte with my little candles.
You guys are too much.
I'm sorry, my cat is blepping so much right now. I need to see how bad. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Don't move.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's the cat.
Blap. Blap. Kitty blap.
I don't think I've ever done an interview where someone said, stop. My cat's doing something cute.
She's doing something really cute.
It's amazing.
It's kind of hard to see, but
That's so cute.
So
Ah,
it's very, very important that I get a picture of my cat
it
and just let
is.
my
It
camera
is.
reset.
Always
It is
important.
very
You have your
important.
priorities so straight.
I do.
Yeah,
If I'm
we
out of
do.
focus for this interview, I'm gonna be upset. But come on,
It's okay.
I'm back here.
It's okay. You're good. I think. Are we
Yeah.
okay? Are we good?
We can just continue. I'll just turn my camera on and off again. It's fine.
I
There we
love
go.
that. That was absolutely fantastic. Yes, the cat intermission.
Yes. Perfect.
What
Oh,
cat
man,
remission?
that's but we love it. Amazing. All right. So I think we should open it up for Q&A because I know we had some audience questions that were submitted. Chase, if you want to.
Oh, you gotta give me a moment to get back to my document here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
One. There's your moment.
One. Oh, do you think Mia would play that
Oh,
stray
okay.
cat game? That
Like,
like
yeah.
like just
isn't it like
stray.
is that what it's
It's like
called?
Goat Simulator too.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, Mia loves cats. It's pretty freaking obvious by the fact he has a cat
Mm-hmm.
hoodie. So like,
Right.
duh. I think he
Okay,
probably would.
Pat's
Because
telling
I
us it's
played
called
it.
Stray.
It's called Stray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I liked Stray. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So
How
absolutely.
about Goat Simulator?
Yeah. The goat simulator.
Mm-hmm. One of the best things I've ever done in my life. One of the best decisions ever. Chat. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can I have it up now. I can jump into the Q&A if we're ready.
Hit me.
All right. So, first one up, we have our server member Joe asking, I want to hear your story of how you got into voice acting, where you started, and how you got to where you are today. I'm an aspiring voice actor myself, and I always look for inspiration from people like you. Do you have any tips or things that I should look out for as an amateur trying to get myself out there?
So like earlier we touched on like how I kind of got my start. But for the more
Yep.
specifics, I got my start on a now dead forum site called Voice Acting Alliance. The IP address or the IP holder literally just ceased to exist or something like that, and so the domain died, quite literally died. And there were so many people that were on that site that started off online, like Justin Briner was on there, Cliff Chapin, Brady Lotta, Howard, myself, so many Damon, so many people got their start on there as well. And I like to, just say I was like at the tail end of that generation before everybody started moving to Texas because I was still too young to really do that. So a lot of us got our start online, and those forums had like lists of like auditions for fan projects and indie games, stuff like that on there, resources, all that stuff. And That's primarily where I got my start. But there was another site behind the voice actors used to have, they don't have it anymore, I believe, a casting call function where people would post, casting calls for like fan projects, indie stuff, games, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and you could audition on there too. And I also was on there for a time. Nothing really came of it. I was pretty low key. I didn't really do anything too crazy. But I really decided to take a lot of the uh like a lot of the workshops that I could take online with what money I had
Mhm.
to my name since high schooler.
Yeah.
I did have a
Yeah.
part-time job, but there was only so much I could do. Primarily, I listened to some of Crispin Freeman's voice acting mastery podcasts, and I actually ended up taking one of his courses, which is really fun. And actually, years later, after I became a
That's cool.
professional, right as the pandemic was hitting, so I was like 6 years
Yes.
after I'd taken his class, I emailed him. I was like, "Hey, I took your class a long time ago, but I'm a working professional now. I was wondering if I could get some coaching." And he's still took some coaching, and it was a very grounding and necessary experience I needed as an actor. Because I was struggling at the time with some stuff because just that happens. Um,
Yeah.
but
Life in general.
mhm. But the big thing is that that I will always enforce and tell everybody is that everybody's journey is in fact different. Every actor will tell you this. And you might be like, "Oh, yeah, it's true," but like, yeah, nah, 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 nah. But no, it is true. Uh,
Yeah.
my timeline was I graduated from high school. I went to college. Thankfully, it was a community college. I had a full ride and then some. I got into the honors college. It was paid for. I was like, cool. I'm going here. For me, it was basically out of obligation because they
Yeah.
basically let me go in. I did theater. My intent was to do theater. If I could be a theater major, I would be a theater major. There was no theater major.
Yeah.
But I did theater, improv, and I was in every single performance that my school put on for the 3 semesters out there. So I was in every single show, and uh, we did like Midsummer Night's Dream. We did some Shakespeare. We did
Oh,
a couple other things that are eluding me at the moment. But I also did improv, which was arguably the most important skill I got from there.
valid.
Because we did improv shows as our finals too. So we would perform for an audience
Amazing.
Mhm.
as our final, and it was so
That
much
takes a
fun.
lot
And
of guts too.
it does, and it helps a lot as an actor, especially as a voice actor, to know how to improv. Um,
Mhm.
but then like I mentioned, I moved to Texas with $1,000 to my name at 20. And there was a lot of personal stuff going on where I was like, I should have saved up more money, but I didn't. So don't do that. But taking classes whenever you can. There's so many resources, so many different workshops to look into. Um, and take your time. There's no need to move to an area where there's voice work right away. Uh, have other people assure you that you are ready to make that move, because there are so many actors that I know of that made the move too early and disappointed themselves because they set higher expectations. And there are plenty of actors who probably still aren't ready that moved out and are just hoping that they can try and book work, but they don't have this sort of sense of self-improving because they're just trying to exist.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to
Mhm.
search that out, which is unfortunate. Because I like to believe that, like, a lot of people can succeed in this industry, and a lot of people can act. But you have to put in the effort to do it, and it's never truly easy. Um, but take your time, learn how to be an actor first and a voice actor second. Because if you don't know how to act, but you can do a lot of silly voices, there's zero guarantee you'll get work. Um, and yeah, take your time. There are so many amazing resources available now. There's I want to be a voice actor.com, that D. Bradley Baker, voice acting god, uh,
Mhm.
has made and updates pretty regularly. Like, it's a blog. He'll give you resources. He'll talk about certain topics. Like, is an amazing resource. You also have Kira Buckland's Discord server that she's run called Voice Acting Club, the VAC, which has also been around for a very, very long time. And I even auditioned for stuff off of the traditional forums years and years ago. There's like thousands upon thousands of people across the world in there. They host like workshops. They host like Q&As with professionals. It's moderated by a lot of professionals as well. And it's another amazing resource to connect and network with people that are also trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. Um, but yeah, the biggest piece of advice really that is just to know that your journey is going to be different than others, and you should never ever compare your successes to somebody else's, or where somebody else is in their career to where you think you should be. Like, you cannot use another
Mhm.
person's success as a metric for where you should be at,
Mhm.
because we are
Noble and insightful advice.
yeah, creatives are known and prone to being in our heads, right? Like, if anybody is a
Mhm.
creative
Mhm.
artist of some kind, you get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have to be vulnerable to an extent, and that can
Yep.
screw us over in a lot of things. So it takes a lot of strength to have to be able to, you know, do the scary stuff of putting yourself out there, pursuing your dreams. But yeah, um, that's just enough of my rambling. But yeah, just stick with it. You'll have your ups and your downs, but just keep at it. Have a good small circle of close friends to help prop you up and also keep you grounded and keep your
Mhm.
ego in check. Because you will get an ego. Everybody gets one. It's just a matter of keeping it in check.
Well, rambling or not, that was a beautiful answer, Rye. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And you it's your interview. You deserve to ramble. This is about you.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Shush. It's a self-deprecation talking.
Well, that's why
No,
we're
no,
here
no.
to
I
lift
just
you up.
yeah.
All right. So the one right after this, I had Ren. I'm gonna invite to the stage.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. So, thank you for being here. Gotta have best cowboy.
Of course.
Anyway, so Maddie kind of went off my question a little bit, like about episode 6 of Skates,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about the scene where Mia basically had to call Joe dad and Cherry mom,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was like, how do y'all all react like that? Did anyone break character or anything? Like, because I probably would have.
So like when it comes to voice acting, with the exception of like Prelay, and some very unique situations, all the actors are all recording separately, right? So I was just at home in my closet recording this episode. Knowing what I was going to be recording ahead of time, both watching it and then also previewing it, I was able to sort of like have my moment to laugh about it. Just be the situation well in advance. But it's never easy sometimes to stay in character, because sometimes something can just be really funny and then you can just die of laughter about what you're about to do. I can't speak for anybody else, but I know that because we loved the show so much, we were so excited to record it. So I remember after I did the whole daddy bit, I was chortling, to say the least. I was going like, and
Sounded
watching it
like
all
a little
settle.
kid.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite bits is literally, I think Jade Saxton plays one of the chicks Joe's hitting on and goes like, "Dude's a dad. Like, let's get out of here." And I'm like, the way she says like, "Dude's a
What?
dad," and I'm just like, that gets me every time.
Like when I saw that, whenever I saw Joe with those two girls, I was like, oh my god, he's got some broad shoulders and a broad on each shoulder. That was my reaction. But okay. My second question was like, now that I know that you do Twitch streaming,
Mhm.
like just general basic, what is your favorite game to play?
You're asking a lot of me.
Ooh.
You're asking a
I
lot of me.
know. Like
I
my favorite's Final Fantasy. I knew you liked Danganronpa back then,
mhm.
but
I don't
hey,
really have
things
a,
could have
a
changed.
specific. Yeah, I don't have like a specific favorite game to stream in particular. I just kind of like my JRPGs. I like my RPGs. I don't always stream them. I uh, I just finished this past month marathoning Persona 3 Reload like in 12 different
Yes,
streams of playing
Yeah.
it for like 8+ hour
this one is so
chunks.
good.
Because I was so excited for it.
Mhm.
But I guess like one of my favorite things really to do is to like just sort of play games that I know I'm going to enjoy with people,
Mhm.
and just sharing that story. Or like an example, when I used to be a flesh tuber, as I like to joke about it,
Oh
uh,
my god.
before I started VTubing, or before I properly start VTubing, was went and played like through a bunch of the Kingdom Hearts games, because Kingdom Hearts is like my favorite game franchise, or one of them. And I played through Kingdom Hearts 1. I did not play through I did not play through Rechain of Memories because that would have taken too long. So I just showed
I don't
everybody the
think anybody
cutscenes.
did.
I do like Chain of Memories. I do think Chain of Memories is good. Rechain of Memories is broken, but it's a slow game to play through. So I was like, I don't want to play like all this crap. Uh, but I played through 2 and stuff like that. So either playing games that I already have an attachment to, or games that I know I'm going to have fun with and share that experience with people is probably what I really like doing the most. Because I also just finished playing through the main story of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which was such a good video game. Oh my god, you should play it, please. It's so good.
Ooh.
Um,
Sounds fun.
And just like God, this month alone, this past month alone, too many good games came out. So I'm balancing
Mhm.
like what games to stream, games that I'm playing independently. Like I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth independently of anything because I know that's a me game. Nobody else gets that game's
Oh,
attention but me.
I'm so not ready
Uh,
to play it. I'm not ready.
I spent 8 hours in the second chapter. So yeah, literally 8 hours before I even got to chapter 3 of the game, and I don't even know how many chapters are in it.
Oh
So
gosh.
but yeah, I just kind of like playing games that like I'm going to have a good time with, or stuff that I'm not aware of. Like playing through Danganronpa V3 on stream, like God, like 2.5 years ago now. That was so much fun because the Danganronpa fandom is crazy. So people would show
Mhm.
up no matter what. But I had never played V3 before. And I was like, this is one I want to play. And so I played it on stream and it was a great time. Never going to be playing a Danganronpa like game again where there's no full voice acting because oh my God, my throat. If I was giving
That
everybody
was the
voices
sure.
and none of
best of it,
myself.
especially when you did voices for the girls.
Yes, yes. But you know, like getting to play games like that where there's a lot to talk about is really fun too. So I don't know. I just like having fun
Mhm.
on stream. That's my big thing. And then when I properly debut my model later this month, which I'm looking to plan for like 2-ish
Mhm.
weeks from now, roughly, knock on wood.
Woohoo.
Um,
Woohoo!
uh, then you know that opens like the floodgates to do stuff with other people too. But I'm still figuring out exactly what I want my niche to be. But I need to like get back into playing Star Rail on stream and stuff like that because I'm way the
Yes.
hell behind on Star Rail.
Me
So
too.
Oh, me
I love Honkai Star Rail, but I am also behind. But I get it.
yeah. So it's like finding a
yes.
balance of games that I really like and like games that aren't going to bore people.
Right.
Fair.
Oh my.
Mhm.
Yes. But yeah, everyone go follow his Twitch because that's a whole thrill ride. And he's so nice on it.
No, I'm an asshole.
Oh.
Don't
But
lie to them. No, if,
Them
yeah,
classes though, you gotta be pretty funny. Imagine that.
I
yeah,
try.
but anyway, thank you for answering my question and showing your adorable cat blip.
Of
Blip.
course.
It's just a little blip. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. So up next we have Emery.
Hello.
Yo, I'm here. I got my cat shirt on.
Let's go.
Nice to meet you.
Perfect.
Woo! Nice to meet you and your cat.
Likewise.
My question. All right, rest assured, if I don't know the character, I will look him up later. But my question is, what video game character would you choose for Mia to be for Halloween?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good
tough
question.
No
one.
pressure. Halloween's
That is
my
a
favorite
really good
holiday. No
question.
pressure.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said Halloween's my favorite holiday, but no pressure.
Okay. Let me just look at my shelf of games real quick.
Yeah,
Gosh,
she's really getting into it.
I
Yeah.
feel like if
Serious.
Mia's like mostly gonna be like an RPG guy,
Fair enough.
video
Fair
game
enough.
character.
Mhm.
Oh God, why'd you make this so
That's always a good
hard?
start.
Considering Mia's like
What's up, chat?
outfits,
What do you guys think?
um,
Come on, it's not like we have months until Halloween.
yeah, it's not we have
Oh
like
my God.
7
following
whole
you
months
around.
until Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
Made longer
Too
because
long.
of leap
You
year.
know, I feel like Mia would he'd probably cosplay like as like 9S from like Nier Automata or like a Nier character. I feel like that'd be fun because it's that sort of like pocket of fashion where it's unique but also fits the sort of like shorter, like sailory sort of outfit that like a school uniform is. And like it's like the shorts and like longer sleeves. So I feel like 9S would be like an option. And if not that, then he might go for like somebody from Dragon Quest. I don't know who. Somebody. Or like, oh yeah, like younger Nier. Yeah.
Let's throw
Like
a
young
rock and
brother
hit
Nier.
somebody in Dragon Quest, and that'll be him.
Yes, literally just some protagonist from Dragon Quest. He'd probably be like He'd probably try and be like Dragon Quest VII Pro Tag or one of the younger ones, something like that. But yeah,
Buddy was freaking out just now, and she just showed me what 9S looks like. That looks so cool.
yeah, no, it's Nier Automata. The Nier games are great. Would recommend, but you will get depressed. The depression literally is part of the game franchise, but it has like such a nice uplifting messages too. But I would recommend the Nier games, but they are rated M for a reason. They curse, and man, depression is real. You'll be like getting served up some depresso espresso like you didn't even ask for it.
Oh
my God,
Like,
man.
depression for
yeah,
the first time
but-
ever.
Yeah.
The worst kind of express.
The worst
Mm.
kind of
I had-
espresso for sure.
How did Mia get his hands on an M-rated game?
His parents bought it for him.
I was gonna say anyone can
Joe.
buy it on the internet. Joe.
Joe.
It has to ship directly to the restaurant. No other way.
Mhm.
Perfect.
But yeah, I hope
Like,
that's a good enough answer for your question.
It's like such a rad answer. I like this outfit, this costume.
Let's go.
Yes.
Well, like for Halloween night, my only thing is maybe the mask needs, like the eye cover. He needs to be able to see.
Well, I know
Like,
people who I know people do cosplay 9S and 2B from Automata, and I think there's some sort of transparency with the eye covering, so they can be authentic. So it's not just they're actually wearing a blindfold.
Right.
So yeah, so there'd be a workaround for that.
Yeah, Mia can't get hurt because then he can't skate.
Exactly. He knows. He's a
Yeah,
clever
but-
kid. He knows.
Yep. I mean, look what happened to Reki. Look what happened to Cherry.
Oh, cries.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. I made you depressed again.
Really
Thanks
crying.
for the remembrance. Rip.
I'm gonna bring up the palm trees around him if you say something like that again.
The palm trees.
Palm trees.
Not the palm trees. No.
The
Get him,
weakness.
tree.
It
Oh
is
my God.
amazing.
Mhm.
Thank you. I like that.
Of course.
These are cool.
Summary.
I mean, if I can get people to play freaking more video games that I like, I'll just say whatever I have to.
Yeah.
We love that. We love to
Let's
see it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Right. There we go.
Mm,
Boop, boop, boop. Inviting to speak.
gotta
There we go.
swap.
Mhm.
All right.
Hello.
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 So my name is Jacqueline, and my question for you is there any sort of like imaginary like episode you're kind of like thinking of in your head, like you have a beginning, middle, end to it that you wish like would come true if there was like a Skate season 2 or something like that?
Man, I mean, me and the cast have all like said like movie ideas if there's gonna be a movie versus like a season 2 or something like that. I mean, I don't really have anything in particular for me specifically, but like like let's have like Longa bring the boys to Canada to learn how to snowboard. It's like Johnny Tsunami with
Mhm.
snowboarding. You know?
Yes.
I think that's like the common thing in the fandom as well, but I feel like that'd be the most fun. I feel like is that
Yeah.
also just
For sure.
grounds literally everybody else in the cast, and Longa can just like pop the fuck off like again,
Mhm.
but like in his home turf, So I think
sure.
something like that would be fun. But even just more slice of life stuff with skateboarding would be really fun. I feel like another like not like like beach episode, but like another like fun like vacation-y episode could be a lot of fun as well.
Mhm.
Just put my boys through more slice of life stuff, please.
Yes,
Camping,
like a
I've
school
seen
camping would be
festival.
fun.
aquarium.
Yeah, but
You went
skateboarding
aquarium.
has to be involved for that, obviously, somehow.
Of course.
Somehow.
Of course. Yeah, of course. A school festival, something like that,
I'm also thinking
Mhm.
of zoo. I don't know why that
The zoo.
The
like
zoo
when the
could be
aquarium
fun.
was brought up.
Yeah, the zoo could be fun. I feel like there'd be a lot of jokes of sort of being like the characters being compared to certain animals. I think that'd be really
Of
funny too.
course. Yeah, we already have the gorilla, so
Specifically, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
Thank
but
you
yeah,
so much.
of course, Jacqueline. Thanks for the question.
Have a good night. I'll
You
still
too.
be in this call.
Let's go.
Woo.
Let's go. All right.
So, do we have someone else queued for Q&A?
We do.
Fantastic.
Hero, do you want to raise your hand or
There we
there
go.
we go. Sweet. Okay, there we go.
Hi. I forgot how
Hello.
to do it.
It's
Hello.
okay. I forget how to
Hello.
breathe sometimes.
Right? Ever
Um,
catch yourself and you're like, I need
absolutely.
to breathe in.
Mhm.
Need to blink.
Blink,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chat, remember to
Uh,
breathe. Now, congratulations, you're now consciously breathing.
My kid does
Yay!
that to me. My son, a side note, sorry, my son's name is Ryan, which is pretty fantastic. I call him Rye. But he's done that to me like the last week is like, hey mom, did you know that now you're breathing and now you're manually breathing? It's like thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for your time.
Silliness. Sorry.
okay. Is there an adaptation or project that you would love to be a part of, like a manga, comic, or book adaptation that you would want to voice a character from?
Ooh, that's a
If
toughie.
it needs to be something that's already happened, you can be like, oh, it's a reboot.
See, like my pipe dream, which I know is no longer a reality, because it already happened, and as a fan, I'm totally fine with it. My pipe dream would have been to have been in the Gurren Lagann somewhere because that's like my favorite anime of all time. And if they had, and my mentality was since before the announcement of the movies coming into the West and also them getting dubbed was a thing, it was like if I could be in the movie somewhere, anywhere, if somebody didn't want to reprise and I got the chance to audition for it, that'd be sick. But my priority as a fan would be I want everybody back where they belong. They need to be, and that already happened. And I couldn't be happier as a fan. So, but I guess like I would die to be in Kingdom Hearts somewhere, anywhere really.
Mhm.
Like either as like like an original character, as like a Final Fantasy cameo, just to be in a Square Enix like JRPG proper would be like
There's
a
so many
dream for
opportunities for
me.
that.
I know. Why do you think I'm
Kingdom
Mhm.
glad I'm in
Hearts
LA?
4.
Uh, but
Rubs hands
but
together.
it's just like this was all calculated. Um, yeah, or just being something crazy that Tetsuya Nomura has his fingers dipped in. Uh, but yeah, if I wanted to say something in particular that hasn't had an adaptation or has one that hasn't had a dub put to it yet, um, it's kind of hard to like really think about it because uh I don't really try to get my hopes up too much for things because then I find out if it doesn't happen then I disappoint myself. Uh and I that's something I also tell people like, hey, don't get your hopes up for stuff or don't set yourself with some expectations because then if that doesn't happen, then it's like, oop, well, depression. Um
Mhm.
if you want to be greedy, though.
If I wanted to be greedy, though, I mean, if I could just take Sora from Kingdom Hearts from Haley Joel Osment's hands, that'd be great, and I could die a happy man. But that's like if I could have my one wish in the world besides world peace and everybody being fucking rich and there being no issues, it would be to be Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Just that's the super selfish thing. But
Love
yeah, if I
it.
could also be like an original Final Fantasy protagonist, that'd be great too.
That'd
That's
be really
amazing.
cool.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen the Mean Girls musical, not the movie, but the musical.
Oh my
That
god.
line that you just said, like, if I could have world peace. Wait, let me back up. World peace and
How
like
do you go here?
very musical.
Uh,
We love it.
Oh, can I do a quick one, though? Can you or any of the other English EAs for the Sk8 sing?
Oh.
say what? Sorry.
Well, can you
I'm
Can you
sing?
sorry.
sing?
Oh, can I sing? Oh, can I sing? Very badly. I sing very poorly. I'm not trained at all. Sometimes I can shockingly carry a tune. Other times I can't. I know Jonah knows how to sing. Jonah is a trained singer. Damon, I believe, can sing
Really?
as well. I don't know to what extent, but Damon can sing. Howard also knows how to sing.
Mhm.
I don't. David Wald can sing David Walt is a trained singer too. He was a musician.
course he
He was in a
can.
band.
Oh my gosh.
Don't know about
Wow.
Brandon. I don't know about Chris Guerrero. And I don't know about Matt Shipman. I feel like Matt probably can sing, so I might be the outlier. But I sing in the shower so poorly.
Wonderful. Thank you.
But that's something I do want to learn how to do, is to sing, because there's like things I would like to just sing. So maybe one
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Skate the musical,
musical.
please.
I mean,
Oh
there
my
there
God,
was the stage
please.
play, so
The stage play was, yeah, incredible.
That was magic.
So good. I loved how they did the effects and the skateboarding, where they had the people that were dressed in black, and they were like lifting everyone up and doing all the crazy things with all the lighting
Mhm.
effects. I loved it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really cool.
yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
I lost the chat.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
But yeah,
It's
thanks for your
fine. I haven't got
questions.
it. I mean, we have some more if you're still up for more.
Sure. Yeah, hit me. I still got time.
Alrighty. Sweet. Okay. Let's see.
Every time you say hit me, I want to say with your best shot, like right after every single time.
It's
No,
the
not this
best
song.
shot. Mhm. Just ignore me. All right. Well,
Fire
we
up.
do have. Oh gosh, there are more coming in. Okay. Real quick, we have one from Z who had to sign off. Did the Dubcast have watch parties as the sub came out?
No, we didn't. We were watching independently on our own. I kind of wish we did.
Yeah.
But we were all watching and like texting each other, freaking out about what was going on after we'd watched the episodes. We'd be like, "Oh my god, did you see this episode, dude? Dude!" Like Jonah and I were, because Jonah and I had just met earlier, like a month or two before we were in Skate, because Brittany Lotta, Matt Shipman's partner, wife. I know they go by they, she, but just trying to be respectful. Since a lot of us were in Attack on Titan, and I was in the first batch of the final season, we put like a watch party group together. And Jonah was also in Attack on Titan. He played Willie Tiber. And I met Jonah through there. We became like friends and stuff like that. And so Jonah and I were getting to know each other a lot more as time went on. And, he'd ask me like, "Dude, you watch this episode yet?" I'm like, "What? No, I haven't." And like, whenever I'd see like get a chance to talk with Damon or Howard, I'd be like, "Guys, have you seen this yet?" And it was really funny because like later on, when we started working on like the Prince of Tennis, a lot of the skate cast ended up being in Prince of Tennis just because there's so many boys. So it's just really funny how it was like, yep, just like almost every male actor of our generation just ended up being in that show. It feels like in some small way or form. It was just like, yep, they're in this show somewhere.
Would you guys do a watch party for season 2?
Maybe. I feel like if we'd have to like organize that, but it's hard to organize that with actors because of everybody's like schedules and stuff like that. So we might like have like a group chat where we'd be like, "Guys,
Right.
the episode dropped.
That
Oh
would be
my
cool.
god!"
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
cool. I'm talking with everyone.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Season
All right,
2,
let's
when?
see.
Come on, Bones. Give us something.
Maybe at the next skate event this summer, they'll be like, "Oh, here it is." But their priority is the OVA.
Yeah, the OVA, I'm assuming, is coming first.
Cool.
Mhm.
Exciting, guys. All right. Oh, here we go. So next up to speak, we have Kai. And then I'm going to have 2 more questions after that.
Cool. What's up, Kai?
All right.
Rhyming with Rye.
Hello. Yes, look at us.
I know.
So similar. So since there's been so much Kingdom Hearts talk, I have to know. I love Kingdom Hearts. I am a big fan. So many games that you've discussed are games that I adore a lot, like Danganronpa and Nier. I love them. But what's your favorite Kingdom Hearts game?
I'm torn right? 2 has been my favorite for years. But I'm also I'm a defender of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, thank you.
So I will still say
Very
that 2
nice.
is probably my favorite, but I will defend Kingdom Hearts 3 as not being a bad
Oh yeah,
video game. I think
yeah,
I will forever say that Square Enix, it was stupid as hell for literally spoiling almost the entire game through their
yeah,
trailers. But I will say like 2 is probably my favorite, and then like 3 I will defend in saying like, hey, you guys just
yep,
expected one thing versus what you got. You should have known series wasn't ending with 3. Uh,
yeah.
but
It's obvious.
yeah. So, but I know 3
Yeah,
is not perfect. But if Kingdom Hearts 2 is like a 10 out of 10 for me, especially Final Mix, I'd put like 3 at like an 8 out
ooh
of
yeah,
10. Like with
yeah,
Remind, like an 8.25,
ooh yeah,
8.5. That's what I would put it. So it's good, and it's the prettiest Kingdom Hearts game objectively. You can't tell me
oh easily,
otherwise.
oh yeah,
But I still have issues with 3 as well. Like there are so many like
yeah,
useless worlds. Like San
yeah,
Francisco, for as cool as it is just an open sandbox with nothing to do in it. Arendelle is
yes,
objectively the worst world from a level design perspective, and it's all looks
yeah,
samey. And then and then yeah, and then I feel like those are like the 2 worst worlds. Toy Box is great.
yeah. I love Toy
I
Box. Yeah,
Toy Box is fantastic.
I loved Tangled as well.
Yep. Yep.
It
The
was
Kingdom of
so
Corona
pretty.
was great. It
Yeah,
feels awkward to call it Corona, even though that's the truth.
yeah.
Uh,
Especially afterwards, it was so weird to refer to it as that.
yeah,
Imagine
and
living in a
then
It's
city.
wrong. Yeah.
yeah, and then I think my favorite world next to Toy Box was probably Port Royal or like the
Mm,
Caribbean or something like that,
it
whatever it
was
was called.
definitely a lot more fun to do than like
The previous.
previous iterations of Pirates. I
Yes.
liked using the boat and everything, and it
Yeah.
was just it
And
felt so
also,
piratey. It was great.
yeah, and it was oh god, so pretty. They really flexed Unreal Engine
Yes.
4 that world. I was like, oh my
Yes.
god. But yeah, 2 is probably my favorite because I played that game probably
Yeah.
almost 100 times when I was younger.
Yeah, 2 is really good.
Mhm.
My favorite is 358 over 2 days.
I will say 358
Love this.
has one of the best stories. Bad
Yeah,
gameplay
it's
loop,
mainly for
but
story. The gameplay,
yeah.
yeah.
The gameplay loop, I get
Story,
why it exists. It's meant to
yeah,
be it's symbolic of how
it makes sense.
boring that sort of cycle
Yeah,
of work is.
yeah,
And so, but playing it sucks. I'll be
yes,
honest, it
yes,
sucks.
yeah. It does not look
Un
enjoyable, but the story is
It's
so
great.
good.
It's really good.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and then it's like the thing is for a lot of the spin-off games for Kingdom Hearts, it's like not spin-off, the side games.
Side games, yeah.
It's like the stories can be great. The gameplay, not so much. Like I'll forever say that Birth by Sleep has probably one of the best, most tragic stories in the entire
Oh
franchise.
yeah,
But the
easily.
gameplay is aged terribly. I think that
Yeah.
iteration of the command deck is bad. It is
Oh, it's
broken. It's
not fun.
slow. It's not that good. It got
Yeah.
better with Recoded, which Recoded should
Oh
not have
yeah.
been as good as of a game as it was gameplay wise.
Oh
But here
yeah.
we are. And then it's at its best and most broken with Dream Drop Distance because
Oh,
it's Dream
easily.
Drop Distance
Yeah.
and it's broken. So
Mhm.
sorry this turned into a Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts interview,
I'm
but
sorry.
you got me started.
I love Kingdom Hearts. It's so nice that we have like the same opinions.
Oh yeah, no.
Especially about 3. It's so hard to find people that actually like it
I
and
mean, I pulled an
defend
all-nighter
it.
like the second day I had that game, and I got literally to Sk8 Calum, and I cried like 5
Oh.
times, sobbing my eyes out.
Oh, I cried
So,
that entire time at the end. Just
mhm.
it just kept coming. I thought I was okay, and then the next thing would happen, and it's just right back to the start, and just constantly crying.
Yup. The
Yeah.
final 3 hours of that game really are like, here's cry in session number 1, number 2, number
Yeah.
3, and then here's when you're gonna
Yeah.
sob.
Yeah. And then you're gonna go back to crying, and then you're gonna go back to sobbing again. And
And it's
then
like,
you're gonna hit the
here's a
credits.
breather. Yeah, and then it's like,
And
oh,
then you
here's a
see
really
like a
cool gameplay
cutscene.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then just
I
all the
get that.
music happens. Like you get Utada, and then it's just like, oh,
Yep.
when she starts
Yeah.
singing, it's just you let it out.
Yep. You Beyblade, let it rip. Those tears.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, like, the second half of my question is just, are you excited for Kingdom Hearts 4?
Absolutely. I'm on the
Yes.
train, man. I've been playing these games my whole life. Fun fact, this is gonna make other people sound really young or call me old or feel really old. When Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped, I've been waiting half my life for that game at the time. Because that was 5 years ago now, which holy
Yep.
shit, 5 years ago.
It's insane how long it's been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the time I was 21, and like it took 13 years for that game to come out, basically. Like 13, 14 years for
Yeah.
that game to come out. It wasn't actively in
Yep.
development for that entire time, but they were building up to it for 13 years. I waited
Hey.
13 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. 13 years. And I made people
Yeah.
feel so awkward about that.
Well, and then there's those of us in here who are older than you are, who are like, "Oh yes, I remember that too, but I was slightly older."
Yep. So
Maddie and I like.
We're like, coughs in 30s.
I'll be joining you soon enough. I hit 27 this year. I'm getting there.
Yay!
It's fun. It's fun in here.
For me. It is. It's a fun club.
Don't get old, kids. Don't get old.
Just don't.
No,
Just stop.
it's better than the alternative.
It's fun.
Just
Yeah.
shows you're enjoying life to the fullest. It's fine.
I don't know
Yes,
about
you
that.
I mean, you're still around.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah, that's true.
In your 30s, I feel like you give less of a crap, so that's part
It's
of
true.
why
I already
it's
give less of a crap at
absolutely lovely.
26, man.
Good for
That's
you.
fair.
So
Yeah,
you're already
yeah.
well on your way.
I'm 23 and I just don't care.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I give
Haven't cared
enough.
for a
They're
while.
I give
early.
enough bucks to get by.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Good.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep. Get
Well,
there
thank you
early. That's great.
for indulging
Of
in Kingdom
course.
Hearts. This was great.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'm
guys.
always
Thank
happy to
you.
talk Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Okay. The final question we have for you.
Final. I thought there was
today,
2.
Did I say 2?
You
You
said
did.
2.
Not
So 2 more
including that
after
one?
Kai. Or was
Oh,
Kai the
did
second?
I?
And there's... I mean, I
Maybe
can.
it's
Oh, you
just
know.
like listen, guys. I'm on the East Coast. It's late. Maybe
It's
I
all
just
good.
can't even
So it's a skill
concentrate
issue.
for
Got
at
it.
this point.
It's not even that late on the East Coast. It's only like 9:30.
L takes skill issue.
Listen. Try. Okay. Well, regardless.
I'm gonna give
Anyway.
them some credit. Hold on, Chase has not eaten yet, so I'm gonna
I
give
mean,
you
I
some
haven't
credit.
eaten, and I'm literally functioning fine.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right. Shots fired. All right. Well, so your last question is you don't get another one after this.
Oh damn. Okay.
Okay. So, what is your favorite meal line?
I mean, that's a toughie, but I always have a
Probably.
couple. Like, obviously, like, where are your clothes, bro? Like, that's always a good one. One of my favorites that a lot of people kind of sleep on is sort of like is when he's skating away in episode 3 from after Reki eats shit, and he's like, "Sorry, this is hard to do if you're not talented."
Love that line so
That's
much.
a good one. Later Slime Boy is also really good too. Yeah, there are a lot of like the fan favorite ones.
Yeah.
Another good one is is when he tells Reki he's gonna be his lap dog. Like, and if I win, you're gonna become my lapdog. So there's
That's
so many.
fun.
Okay, well, obviously, there's one other one I gotta give special mention to, because it would not have sounded that way had I had my voice not done what it did. Literally is when Reki flicks me on the forehead after he's done spouting his depressing backstory, and he just goes, "Ow!" Quite literally, that voice crack was not intentional at all.
Oh, it was perfect.
Absolutely
wow.
not intentional in the slightest. And just literally goes like, "Ow! Why'd you do that?" Like, literally, I told Chris Wakeham, I was like, "Oh, I can do that one more time." He's like, "No, it's perfect." And I'm like,
It
"Okay." And we listened back, and I was like, "Oh, it
Was.
is."
yeah,
It was perfect.
it's a happy accident for
And
sure.
hmm
Why
So
are you a dumbass?
I
yeah,
love
That's a
that.
good one too.
Why are you a
hmm
dumbass?
We need like an hour of like Mia roasting people. Like
Yes.
dude, just give me a
I
script
need
and I'll do
legitimate
it.
roast, like the skate roast. Please,
Yeah,
please.
Mia
The
roast the
roast.
entire skate cast. That'd be funny.
right, next month in the skate park Discord, Mia roast.
Oh
I'm
my
just kidding.
God.
Like
Roasting everyone. It's
Lord of mercy. But yeah, those are a
amazing.
couple. Those are a couple. Those are usually what I put on like people's prints whenever I like sign a print for them, or
Mhm.
they bring me
Love
something
it.
for them to sign. So I think there was
Love
one time
it.
somebody asked me to say some really like cringe Gen Alpha stuff at Impulse like last year, and I regret ever saying it. Um, it was very very Gen Alpha, and I was just like,
Mm. Hmm. All right.
Like,
it was
okay, things are going in today.
yeah, I was like, I that person they were like in like high school too, and I think they're with their parents, and I was just like, or their mom was next to them, and I was just like, you're lucky I'm okay with this, that I say cringe stuff like this, like for the shits and giggles.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and it was like, uh, it was something to do with like being called like the Rizzler or something like that, and I was just like, at the time,
Oh.
I was new, and I was just like, this is so bad, this is so bad. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh my
And it was just
gosh.
like,
Oh.
Oh
and I said
man.
it. I said it, and I was like, never again. Never
So
again.
funny. Oh my gosh. You're like gonna have a list of things at your next con where you're like, things I will not say for you include. It's
Yeah.
just a list.
Skippity
Yeah.
toilet.
Nominated Eric
Oh
Riller.
God, don't even get me started on Skibbity Toilet. I don't even know what the hell that is, and I think it's the stupidest shit ever. No, like Skibbity Toilet wasn't a thing a year and 2 months ago,
No.
okay?
It's almost
It was
phased out.
not.
Don't worry. It's gonna get too old real
Good.
soon.
God, My
Good.
my Gen Alpha child said that it's already old, and like you said, it was like 2 months ago. So like it's it's fine. We won't
Good.
have to hear it
Bye-bye.
anymore.
Thank God.
Perfect. Good. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
Awesome. Super cool. So that was the final question?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Line?
technically the second question was, Ryan, would you be down to get a screenshot, kind of like photo, quote unquote, with us before
sure.
we wrap up here?
I'm down.
Sweet.
Cool.
Okay.
Are we cheesing?
Taking it.
Yeah.
Jovi's got
Sure.
it.
I mean,
I got
Oh,
it. No
what?
worries.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm just like, where do I look? Huh?
Where
What,
do-
left, right?
look into the webcam. Into the webcam.
All right.
Yeah, perfect. Cheese done.
All
We
right.
did it, guys.
3, 2. All right. Let me try again. I'm trying to do it with the delay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, do it. Okay, no delay. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool.
yay. We did it.
Hey,
We
we did
did
it.
it.
We did it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rye. This was so much fun.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
you are
Thanks
an
for having
absolute
me.
star.
Yeah, of
Thank
course. And thank you, audience participation. That was
Yeah.
fantastic. And we will have this recording out for people who missed it, so they can enjoy the fun as well.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Yay!
Right. This is so awesome. Thank you so much, Rye. You are an
Yeah.
absolute blessing. We
Mhm.
are so happy.